about ships sinking on a cruise. And I've got some facts in this talk that will put your mind completely at rest. One is I've not heard of any submarines or icebergs, so we look pretty safe. The sinking of the Lusitania. What I want to look at first is the construction of the ship, the reasons why it was built, because that really has a lot to do with the sinking. One of the reasons is there's 4 German ships, and they're sailing and they're beating the British ships crossing to America, to New York. And the Brits at that time were very naval nation, and they didn't like it one bit. So their hopes are on 2 lines, the Cunard and the White Star. They want to end the Germans controlling the fastest ship over. Part of this reason is that immigration to the Americas was growing at that time. People were leaving Great Britain, Ireland, and going to America, migrating. And these German ships were large, technologically advanced, and really dominating this travel across the Atlantic. And this ship, this one here, the Kaiser Wilhelm de Gross, it won the Blue Ribbon, and I'll get to that and explain what it is. The Blue Ribbon was an unofficial accolade. There wasn't actually a Blue Ribbon or even that amazing-looking award there, trophy. It wasn't made till 1935, but it's a trip across the Atlantic Ocean, and it's on the speed rather than the passage time, and that's because ships follow different routes. You know how we've gone up because of the curvature of the Earth. Well, ships did have different routes, and it was Liverpool to New York against the Gulf Stream that was the important one. So 1902, Cunard plans 2 ships, the Mauretania, as you can see, and the Lusitania. And there was a small problem of finance. It's going to cost a lot of money. Actually, to us it doesn't seem a huge amount because it was $2,600,000 or English pounds needed to build the 2 ships. And Cunard went to the government and they said, well, can you finance this on a low interest rate? And 20 years. And the British government said, yes, on one condition, that these ships be built as cruisers, naval cruisers, so to Admiralty specifications. So if war broke out, which at that time it looked to be looming, they could be commissioned into the Navy. And that is really an important point about the sinking of the Lusitania. Lusitania, as it says there, is the name for Roman Portugal, if you wondered where the name came from. So Parliament grants Cunard's request, Lord Inverclyde's request for financial help. And the Mauretania, that was named after Roman Morocco. That was the name Rome gave to Morocco. Now, they were to be built to Navy specifications, as I said, and they would have to be fast. That's something you need in war. If you're going to outrun somebody else that's chasing you, you need a fast ship. So plans are drawn by that architect there, and they begin to build at John Brown's Scottish shipyards. 1904, first keel plate laid. And those concept sketches, the first one showed 3 funnels, but the Germans had 4, so they changed it and they put 4. It was the biggest ship ever at that time. Of course, not today. We've got huge superliners, huge tankers. But if you look at the size of it there, I was just looking at Crystal Symphony. It's 781 feet long, so slightly smaller than the Lusitania. So it was a big ship at that time. The Symphony is 99 feet wide. That one was, the Lusitania was slightly narrower, and the tonnage of the Lusitania was 51